All right, hell yeah, welcome back. So we're doing it again. We got our second win going. We had COVID for 2 weeks, so we couldn't even use our voice. We were sleeping. So anyway, well, what were we doing? Well, we're getting on to the next rapid. We just did we just did the entrance. We did this initiation. Now we hit this little corner, and what the hell do we hit? Little Z, and this is where my mind just explodes because I was just like, holy, you need to know what the hell's going on the whole upper golly. My cousin's like, yeah, and storytelling. If you can't tell the whole story in under a minute, and I tried I made a 1 hour video trying to do the overview of the golly, and I don't know, I should just post it, you know what I mean? But I'm just hesitant. But anyway, here's the 1 minute napkin. Is after initiation, this little corner, you're gonna get lost as hell because you just have who cares rapids until this corner, and then you have insignificant. Okay, great. And then you have this corner. This is where Carnifax Ferry, this is where you can actually hike down to Pillow Rock. This corner is distinguishable. Look at that pocket. It's a boot. It's a real steep corner. And then who cares? You know what I mean? Literally, who cares? And who cares after initiation? What the hell is going on? Just no, what the hell do I call this? Who cares after insignificant? You know what I mean? And then after Pillow Rock, literally, who cares until you actually see the Meadow River? And then buckle up, you got Lost Paddle. After Lost Paddle, though, you can't say who cares because you do have a hazard on Conestoga, and then you have Shipwreck Rock right after it. So you kind of got two hazards right in the way we'll talk about those. And then you set up for Iron Ring. Um, but hell yeah. So then just geographically, you know what I mean? Hell yeah, you have this big old boot, insignificant Pillow Rock. You come down here to this point, you know what I mean? You have Meadow River coming in, Lost Paddle. And then right on this corner, you know what I mean? You have Iron Ring, and then you're just going all the way down this home stretch. A lot of who cares in between here, and then you have Sweets Falls. Booyah. So that was definitely 2 minutes. I did not get that done in a minute. But then yeah, just don't get lost before your takeouts. But hail, this whole gooseneck right in here, this is Woods Ferry. And then here's your takeout. So that's just good to know. That's kind of what I wanted to go over. So we'll just go over that in the next like 3-4 minutes before we hit Little Z, just because we just need to do this. So here's your takeout for Woods Ferry, but right here, we'll zoom in. Well, we really can't zoom in on this one. But anyway, you have your takeout for oh yeah, you're right here, Mason Branch. And then yeah, here's the cut. You can park up in this field and then come back down there. So anyway, we'll get this zoomed out. But yeah, and I think I need to make videos with the cursor so you can see what the hell we're doing. All right, but that was the whole upper golly within you know what I mean, a few minutes. Definitely more than a minute. Okay, let's go to the next slide. All right, hell yeah. So what we're trying to focus on is we just did entrance, we just did initiation, we came around this corner. Now what? We have little Z. And guess what? Just like a hall of rapids that you'll just get lost and you'll just be like, where the hell are we? And the reason is, all right, next slide. Okay, is because right here, right around this corner, you might not notice this corner at all. And you're like, after initiation, what the hell's next? Well, little Z, hell yeah, it's a significant rapid. But then after it, you just have two unnames, and then you have this Upper Collison Creek. So what's the Upper Collison Creek? Well, it's a 3-hit wave train. Actually, some of the biggest waves on the you know what I mean? It's a decent wave train because the upper golly is not about big waves. It's about getting through and not dying and having a good time. You know what I mean? If you're gonna get splashed in the face, you're just not. You know what I mean? But hell yeah, there's a good little wave train. And then you definitely have Lower Collison Creek with this island, very distinguishable. And then you have some slight bends, but this is Geek Wave. This is Lower French Kiss, kind of technical. And then you have this, what the hell's next? Well, you have Slant Rock, you know what I mean? Kind of a center right, hit this corner, maybe do a little trick off the Slant Rock. But basically, the big picture is once you're done with initiation, yeah, sure, you should probably know Little Z. But then just know that who cares? Who cares all the way till Bud's Boner? And if you can't identify Bud's boner, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So be able to identify what the hell is that big rapid? What are we approaching? Well, approaching Bud's boner, run it on the right for your first time, right. And then hell yeah, then you got your first turn and then you got initiation. But it's just real important to get like a quick overview of like, well, what's important and what's not. You know what I mean? Because all this is just class twosie doozy. You know what I mean? In comparison to the stuff that you're going to be doing on the upper Gauley. Now after insignificant, I said who cares? But no. You have S turn, that's significant, but you can run it easy on the right for sure. You have pick a slot, hell yeah, you got to know how to run pick a slot. That's not straightforward. That's the only one where you might just be like, hell yeah, it might be nice knowing a little bit about pick a slot. All right, so we're gonna go to the next, and then you have another straightforward one, iron curtain around the corner, and then you got a long straightaway, find that boot, pillow, rock. We're going to go back to the first slide. Hell yeah. So that was the overview. This little Z hit this corner. Who cares? All the way to Bud's boner. Bud's boner will help you find. Then you have a huge corner, insignificant. You have this, and then yeah, you got some cares. You got 3 rapids to care about, but still in the grand scheme of things, is still on the who cares because you just want to know where the hell you are. You will identify this outside corner. Hopefully, it's the Appalachia. Everything just looks the same. But you do have this hard outside corner. You got this outside corner too. You'll notice that right away. And then you just have nothing, just a lot of unnamed rapids before Pillow Rock. But anyway, okay, let's get back to it. Next slide. Okay, so I think that's it. I think now we can just go into Little Z. Holy Toledo, that was a preamble. But we're just getting back in the swing of things. Let's do it. All right, hell yeah. So this is Little Z, and I love these Google Earths. You know what I mean? It's a little lower flow. You know what I mean? This actual draw. Well, this is pretty decent. This is pretty close to fall flow on Google Earth as you're gonna get. But anyway, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so yeah, this is Little Z, also known as Pyramid Rock on some of the other rapid guidebooks. But anyway, your Pyramid Rock is this rock right here. We'll get some better views. All right, next slide. Okay, so now this is a close-up. You know what I mean? This is if I just took a photo of this and took this down with me on the GAULEY, even just like thumbnail size, have all the rapids just on one sheet of paper laminated that just look like this. This is gonna give me all the information I need because I already kind of know how to run it. But just at first glance, this is what's gonna mess you up on the upper GAULEY. This river is deceptively wide. You're just like, well, there's only like 2,800, 3,000 CFS. That's a small river. That's a small flow. 3,000 ain't that much, maybe. You know what I mean? Compared to other larger rivers. But the fact that it's so wide, channeled, and shallow, and you do have a pool drop, which kind of filters the water, you know what I mean, through a main channel. But even over here, just the fact that like even this one kind of has a rock island, you know what I mean? You don't want to be over here on the left. So that might be confusing to be like you're just entering this one. You know what I mean? The safest route is just hella up against the bank right over here. And you just wouldn't know that if someone's like, hey, little Z, where do you enter? You'd be like, I have no idea. But if you just took this little snapshot, so once I get done with this whole guidebook, I'm going to see like what's the minimum amount of information I could have on one page just on the upper GAULEY that you could literally just tape to your paddle or something and be like, oh, hell yeah, we got this. Even though these are read and run, I don't know. The GAULEY, it gets a little bit maze-like because I'm just used to Western rivers, but this is a total maze. You're just like, well, where the hell do I enter? It might look like you enter over here to the unsusceptible eye, but you will just get. I mean, this would be no man's land when it comes to just getting pinned up in places. That's the most dangerous thing about the upper GAULEY is like you sink down to water level and your body wants to go through these rocks and let alone if they're undercut. You know what I mean? That's another ball of wax. But anyway, so what are we looking at? We're gonna go to next slide. Okay, so we got Little Z Pyramid Rock. So here's the Pyramid Rock again, just right there. And just real brief, the easiest line is just take this tongue all the way down this right side. Okay, said and done. You know what I mean? If all you know about Little Z is that, well, there is a Z move, where the hell's that? Well, you're not going to start over here. You're actually going to kind of start right here, but you do have some guard rocks. So you might have to enter, pretty close to just right here. But then, hell yeah, you got to kind of work your way over here because just on this left side of this pyramid rock, you do kind of have a shallow hole, and kind of a ledge drop. Don't go in there sideways. You're going to get stuck for days. That would suck. But you could probably just punch that, punch it kind of wherever. But you might have to kind of punch it just a little bit on the left side and then work your way back over here. That's the Z move. And yes, this rock is undercut. So if you mess up anything, you know what I mean? That's why you just have floaters going down there. Now this is class 3. Who cares, right? I mean, but no one's falling out right here, maybe, and no one's swimming up against that ever. But you do have kind of a cool drop right here, and then we'll look at that. And then we're just to say how it is, Ace Raft, like the kayak is standing on this rock. He eddied out standing on this rock. So just the view from this rock looks like, oh, it makes the rapid look totally different. All right, so we're going to go to next slide. Okay, so you got Pyramid Rock right there. Here's your left slot drop right there. And we're going to take a look at some footage of that. And then here's your easy right line. This is the only other footage that I have is of the easy right line. I do not have any footage of someone dropping over here, going this way, hitting the left or punching this hole, hitting the left side, and then working your way back to center. I mean, if you're going to go all the trouble to go over here, just do the little slot drop. It's fun. That's what I got to do with my guide. And yeah, but the interesting thing is just like it just makes the whole GAULEY look like a maze. Even just to like find over here, you're just like, where is over here? It looks like you're going into just like a maze of boulders, and then oh, okay, there's a little drop right there. Wouldn't have known. And then from this bird's eye view, it just makes so much sense. You'd be like, why would you ever get confused? But we're going to take a look at some. Okay, so here's your Z move. We've already gone over that. Here's that pyramid rock again. Now this pyramid, hell, it looks like a pyramid from upstream, but it's real long. So just know that too. I don't know if that's helpful. It's a real long pyramid rock. Okay, right here, there's your pyramid rock. So it's really at the surface level, but it is pyramid shaped. You'll notice it. And then here's where you're going to be entering. You're going to be entering over here anyway. So, just stay down this and just make it a class 2-zy doozy. Or you can find your way over here and work your way back, or you might as well find your way all the way to this corner and do this little slot drop. Okay, now I'm going to see how this is what I'm talking about. Like this view is just like, oh, hell yeah. Now it just makes sense. But this is not the view that you will have. So we're going to take this photo and flip it. Okay, so this is the same photo. It's just a weird angle, but it's totally just upside down. So now here's the entrance, and here's where you're going to enter. And then for whatever reason, and the fact that the angle's wrong, it just shows that, yeah, now I don't even know what rapid this is. But this is literally what you're going to be seeing. Little Z, you're going to be over here on the right side, right entrance. Look at this huge amount of left. It looks like you could go over here. Don't go over there. That's like the take-home point to a lot of these upper GAULEY rapids. It's so wide that you're going to get lost even at the top of a rapid. You're going to be like, where the hell do we go? Especially the lower GAULEY. Holy Toledo. There's like a rocky top. That one's just, it looks like a maze. Okay, anyway, so let's get back to this one. So there you go. There's your easy. You got a punch there. Heck yeah, you got a fun little hit and maybe another one. Go down that right side. But to get over to this left side, yeah, you don't want to probably enter it here. You'll probably have to kind of get jarred over those two. I don't know if at fall flow, you can actually flow over those. So it looks like you actually have to enter here, work your way over here for a Z move, maybe hit this hole on the left side instead of just broach it sideways, and then work your way back to the middle. And yeah, this is slightly, you just won't want, that's the thing. If you're really focused on like, hey, if anyone falls out, is there anything below them? Well, shoot, right there, there's an undercut rock. You wouldn't want to have people fall out like right here. I don't know. It's probably totally nothing birds. If they fell out right here, they'd be flushing to the right. But you never know. But yeah, you want to be working your way over here and then hitting this slot drop. But see how just taking some time and looking at this, you know what I mean? So we're going to go to the next slide, but we're going to go back to the first slide. Okay, so here's kind of the first slide. And this is what I want to take down with me on the river because this is directly overhead. It's a skeletal view. You can see that you enter on the right. If I do want to work my way over to this drop, I can work over to that drop. So I do like these overhead views, directly overhead, Google Earth. They don't get confusing, and I like the top of the rapid to be right here, and we're going to look this way. I don't like a side view. Because even, well, let's do it. Let's turn this side view. I know it's horrible, but it's actually good because like Pillow Rock, you would totally look at Pillow Rock from this right side because everyone's just eddied out on the right side, maybe Portage in the right side. You're looking at people go through Pillow Rock on the right side. That's your view. So does this little Z still make sense if we actually look at it like this? Well, I guess so. You're going to enter on the right, stay down the right. That is super obvious from the side view. Now, even from the side view, yeah, it looks like, yeah, you're gonna have to work really hard to find this little pocket and then drop that slot. So yeah, so maybe there is a benefit of turning these rapids sideways as well. We're just kind of figuring this out on the fly of what gives you the best information. You know what I mean? With the limited information that we have, how do we portray it? Give it the best shot. And now we're going to flip it the other way. Now, this is Google Earth, but look in the other direction. Now, I do not like this way. It makes no sense. And we'll go this way. Now we're looking at river left. And yeah, maybe this way shows, hell yeah, you need to be way over there on the right. That just makes the most sense. Look at that tongue all the way down the right side. And look at this huge amount. Like the majority of the rapid is this boulder jumble, center right all the way to the left bank. You know what I mean? So that's the take home point for little Z. And that's the take home point for a lot of these. A lot of these are just read and run, but you're just like, well, where do we set up? So you need to be standing up in your raft if it's your first time and you're just doing it, trying to do it by yourself. Yeah, you can. But you know what I mean? You can stand up and be like, okay, I kind of see the waters flowing this way. You can use your due diligence. But if you're coming from Western rivers, just the maze aspect of these because this river is such an old river system. You know what I mean? It doesn't have. Anyway, we've talked about that, so let's get on with it. Let's go to flip this just like that. Okay, now we're going to go to the next slide. And we're going to go back to, yeah, back to here. So little Z, Pyramid Rock. And there's the Pyramid Rock. Next slide. And there's your left slot drop. Hell yeah. And we'll look at that. Next slide. All right, and then here's your easy right line. So again, there you go. And next slide. And then here's your Z move. We've already talked about that, but I went through all the work of putting this through Photoshop. So there you go, your Z move. Next slide. And I don't know if I have to say next slide. I think I can just post this. But anyway, we're learning on the fly. So here's your slot drop. And now we're going to watch the ace footage last. Or maybe we're going to watch it first. I have no idea. But here we go. And I got to throw in my headphones so it doesn't. So anyway, okay. So yeah, there's the Pyramid Rock. So you do. So this is you got to enter over here, work your way all the way and find this little thing. There's the left slot drop. Next slide, your Z move is right there. Back to over here. And I don't think I need to see next slide anymore. Okay, so there's your Z move. Booyah. Okay, so now we are going to watch some footage. And I don't know. I'm not going to do any commentary. And then we're going to watch it twice, and then we're going to do commentary. All right, here's the first time through. Oh, but I do have labels. So this is Little Z, Pyramid Rock. And then from this view, hell yeah. So you're on the right side. That's all that Pyramid Rock looks like. And then, yeah, you see this huge jumble of boulders. It's almost an island. You got trees down that jumble. So, yeah, again, there's Little Z. Little Z is all down this right side, just to put it in perspective, and let's watch this all the way through. Oh, and there's your left slot drop. If you want to try to figure out where the hell the left slot is, that's why I do like these on water. I wanted to try to find as much on water footage as I could, so you can be like, oh yeah, once you're on the water, you can't see crap. You know what I mean? Oh, and I guess there's that huge jumble of boulders that we talked about a billion times, and then your left slot is just drive all the way up to that. That's the weirdest thing because you're just like, why? Where are we? You know what I mean? I feel like we're on Mars or something. And then you go all the way over there and hell, oh, sweet, there's a little drop behind there. But if you don't know that, you'll be like, I'm not going to go over there. All right. And then here's your Z move. So you're going to be over here, and then you're going to get to the left side of Little Z Rock, and then you're going to come back to the center channel. And there's your Z move. There's your easy right line. Okay, so here's the footage. All right, so we're gonna watch that one more time and maybe add a little commentary. Okay, so we're gonna start over here on the right side. Everything's looking good, and there's your. So you do have some rocks on the right side of this pyramid rock, and you do have the hole on the other side, and then you do have this kind of a little chunky drop. There you go. That's a little stopping wave. So just good to know what waves you're gonna hit on little Z. And then here's this other pocket hole. I guess just avoid that and go down the center. All right, so looks like we did it. And okay, so now, so here's oh, sorry, this is so small, but this is a view. Do you think we can get this bigger? Hell yeah. Okay, so here is this left slot drop. So I guess we're gonna watch that first, and then so yeah, you're all the way over against this huge boulder pile. You really can't see this slot from up top. We already showed that. But yeah, you're going all the way up against this huge boulder, and then you're dropping this slot right here. Here's the main channel back to the middle. So if you're doing the little Z move, you go back to this main channel. Okay, we're gonna watch this, no commentary.
That was a good one.
All right, let's watch that. Let's watch that again. Okay, here we go. So you're all the way up against this left slide, and there you go. You got the little slot drop. Now, there's a lot of things about the upper GAULEY that are just kind of easy, but it's kind of a maze, so you might not know where the hell that is. You know what I mean? But now you do. So that's kind of the interesting thing about the upper GAULEY. It seems like just a real fun place to play around and stuff. Okay, so now what we're gonna watch is the Ace crew coming in.
And then downstream here on the far left, we got a nice little slot here some of these rafts like to run. You can see that rock's a little bit undercut there though. But looking good nonetheless.
Okay, so now we're gonna watch this one more time, but yeah, without the audio. And I'm just gonna talk over it. Okay, see how you don't see this big jumble of rocks on the right side? You don't see anything. Like all you see is this raft going over this little drop. Because when I ran this with the commercial crew, I was just like, oh, that's the little slot drop. I just wouldn't have thought. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, okay. I have no idea where I am at. And that's just my mindset. It's just interesting going from Western Rivers to the Upper GAULEY where it's pool drop, and it's just a maze of boulders where you're just, I can't even see over these boulders. It's a little bit, not, I don't know, maybe claustrophobic. I would say a little claustrophobic, especially because this Upper GAULEY is pretty high gradient. All right, well, let's get on with it. We're going to make this little Z just a half-hour video. Okay, so now we're kind of wrapping up. You're like, okay, that was little Z. Why'd you spend a half an hour on little Z? Well, because we did the whole overview of the upper GAULEY, and it puts it in perspective. Because we're going to get lost on the next two rapids, because these next two rapids right here are unnamed. All right, so we're just gonna look at this. This is little Z, Pyramid Rock to all the way to Lower Collison Creek. So this is Upper Collison Creek. This is Lower Collison Creek. And now I'm definitely going to switch slides all the way back to one of the beginning slides. So right here, if you want to know some geographical features, well, the next geographical feature after the put-in is kind of, well, let's go back one more, a couple more. The next geographical feature after the put-in I would say is Pillow Rock because you actually have a park right here, Fairfax Ferry, and you can actually easy access walk down to Pillow Rock. All this other stuff's kind of private on both sides. But let's switch slides to right here. Now here is the geographical feature I was pointing out. So this is Upper Collison Creek. And this is the spillway of the dam. So it's just kind of a neat geological feature is they use this natural, they use the natural kind of creek that flows from, Upper Collison Creek. But this is their spillway. Now, actually, they've probably ran this spillway just to make sure it works. I mean, because it does look like water's flown through here. But yes, if this dam ever overtops, it'll also overtop right here, and that'll be it'll actually save the dam. Actually, probably this dam won't overtop. That's why this is here. It's the emergency spillway. Probably this will overtop first, maybe at the same time. I just imagine this will overtop first before this dam overtops because it's just an earthen. Yeah, I think it's just an earthen dam. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's kind of a cool feature. Let's go back to Upper Collison Creek. Okay, yeah. All right, so here's little Z to well, here's Upper Collison Creek, here's Lower. So Upper Collison Creek, you might not know where the hell this is, but it is a three-hit wave train. Maybe just a two really good hits and a third one if you can find it, but just really good wave hits. But then here, Lower Collison Creek, you'll definitely identify that. You have an island stay to the left, and you have a huge slanted rock on the left side. Easy to avoid. It's just twosie doozy down the middle, class 3 on that one. But after Little Z, hell, you got these unnamed rapids. Now, like on the Grand Canyon, like these would trip me up because it's just like, well, I don't know if this is an actual rapid, if it's in the book or not. But yeah, anytime I do a river, I want to know about the unnamed rapids because they do, you're just like, you just lose your mind out there. And maybe it's just me. That's why I do rivers. I don't do caves. I would just get lost. If I did caves, I would still be in a cave right now. No one would be able to find me. I would be totally lost and be dead. So anyway, that's why we do rivers. They just go one direction. Okay, let's get on with it. There's Lower Collison Creek, and hell yeah, Upper Collison Creek. There's that emergency spillway of Summersville Dam. Hell yeah, that's just a good little piece of trivia. And then you have Upper Collison Creek. And then on the emergency response map, that's where I get these. Anything in this light blue is from that emergency response map. They call Little Z Pyramid Rock. They call this unnamed number 9, unnamed number 10. This is called Upper French Kiss. So that means that Geek Wave and Lower French Kiss is called Lower French Kiss. But there you go. Okay, so and that does it. We're gonna cover Collison Creek and these unnamed rapids in another video. So we're gonna actually start there. So we're done with Little Z. Thanks for joining me. Now I know this is a little bit breathy, but it is worthwhile. You know what I mean? Just throw. It's like an audiobook. I don't know what it is. It could be a little bit tighter. It could be a little cleaner. But you know what I mean. And whatever. We chose the Upper Gauley for the first time doing a comprehensive guide. So we'll just get better down the way. We'll figure out what works, what doesn't, what we like. But I definitely love talking, and then that's what we're doing. All right, so let's get to editing. That was Little Z. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully we can pump out more of these, at least one a week. In the comments if I'm yeah, not getting to it, not getting after it, you know what I mean? Just hit me a shout out. Be like, "Hell yeah, you be slacking." And then I'll make a video. Cuz I don't mind making just crap videos too. I have a whole channel for that. If you just want to see me, make breakfast, do the dishes, do my laundry. I don't know why I'm circling that. Anyway, here we go. So thanks for joining me, and that's a video.